Hi, I'm Brien Lundin, and I'm at the Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver. Joining me now is Fred Davidson, who's the CEO of Impact Silver. You know, what I tell people is there's a proven uptrend in gold, or entering a new gold bull market. There are a lot of ways to play this. But if you're looking for a way to add leverage on top of leverage on top of leverage, what you want to look for is precisely the kind of company that Impact Silver is. Silver leverages gold, silver mining companies leverage silver, and on top of that, if you can find what's called a marginal or a high cost producer of silver, then that offers even more leverage to the price of silver. Fred, this is not something we can talk about theoretically, but you actually show the track record of Impact Silver of really tremendous leverage to silver prices. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, we really have. And as you pointed out, you get to the point where your sort of marginal production or marginal profit.
Yeah.
Then the price of silver even goes up by $1. That goes straight to the bottom line.
Yeah, it multiplies your profit margin.
It can be huge.
Yeah.
And we've seen it in, say, 2016, where we were literally a 14 bagger in a matter of 5 months.
Wow.
Just in response to that initial response to silver, actually.
Yeah, and it's I imagine a tough thing to endure when you're a high cost producer and you have low silver prices, you're scraping just to get by. But man, the rewards really come through when silver starts to move.
Yeah, that's true. We have been able to cut our costs quite a bit. We're at the point where we're probably positive EBITDA for the last 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And going forward, we might even hit a profit, even without the price of silver moving very much, as a result of cost cutting and redirection of our efforts.
Yeah, but again, every cent that the silver price goes above your cost of production, straight to the bottom line. But your project is exceptional in so many ways. I mean, you're talking about a mining history of 500 years on your project. And I guess you'd say the best 500 years are ahead of you?
I'd like to think we've got another 500 years.
Yeah.
It's certainly, you're right. I mean, there's been a history of mining there for 500 years. The district itself, we've already mapped over 5,000 old workings and mines. There's over 50 old actual mills. They call them haciendas, right back to the Spanish era and before.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Spanish came there because the Aztecs were mining there even before they were there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've seen that. We've also seen the potential that as you go to depth, there's a whole new horizon of gold and copper, which we're only now just starting to explore.
And one of the dynamics in silver mining in Mexico is that the old timers were able to find the surface expressions, and they were able to mine it to a certain extent. But without the modern systems, modern techniques of exploration and mining, I mean, in a lot of cases they hit the water table, they had to stop. But they didn't have what we have available to really fully exploit the mineralization. What are you finding along those lines on your property?
Exactly that. We've reached the stage where we will literally go into, say, a flooded mine. Nowadays, we can easily handle water issues.
Yeah.
And quite often in an old flooded mine, we'll drain it out and you'll actually be getting a kilo of silver in the floor.
Wow.
In fact, 3 of the mines we're operating from right now were exactly that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the old system of processing it was you would have a water wheel and a hammer mill.
Yeah.
Not very efficient. And because they're using hand steel even doing the mining, nobody bothered chasing anything under a kilo. So for us, what their waste is our high grade, and we're getting a lot of it.
And again, so you're in production, you've got the mills very close, I mean, in some cases, wheelbarrow distance from the discoveries. And so right away, you're finding a new discovery goes right into no economic studies, no environmental impact statements. You find something, it goes right into the mill.
Well, we are super clean. The nice thing about most of our work is underground, so with very little disturbance. But you're exactly right. We're in for instance, back into the Guadalupe, which Peñoles before us mined over 10 million ounces. We now own the concession beyond where they had. And we even ran into one called the Jewelry Shop, and we actually provided pictures of that on the website where the wire silver, and it literally looks like wire, looked like a bird's nest. And we're running into those situations. 100 yards out, there's the mill.
Wow. And so, yes, you're in production, but people really like to have the exploration part of that story too. They like the excitement of exploration. Your ground is absolutely enormous, and you've outlined I believe, 4 broad areas of development and exploration. Can you talk a little bit about what you see ahead and the excitement of finding new discoveries and the potential for that?
Yeah, and you're right. We do have 4 areas. One is the area we're currently mining in, and interestingly enough, it's the smallest. That's where we probably spend 80% of our dollars. Another one is down in the south part of the property, several miles away, and it's a volcanogenic massive sulfide. And we've already identified one deposit there with a 43101 resource on it. We're doing metallurgical work to bring the break-even down on it. And there's 2 other deposits nearby that if it sustains itself, we would bring those into production. So the VMS is attractive and it's large tonnage. To the west, we're into a deep valley. It's about 300 or 400 meters below where the mill is. And there we're finding a massive, literally massive, about 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer high anomaly, high magnetic anomaly. Off of it is running a series of veins around it. And one of the veins we tested was running high quality gold. Over a distance on a vein on surface was over 60 meters long. So there's something happening there, and that gold prospect is very interesting. We spent pennies there so far. And
so you might actually taint your production with gold.
Yeah, I won't complain. And it's probably the only time we'll ever call our silver equivalent.
Right.
Without tainting it with any of these lead, zinc, and things like that. And then far off to the east, we're very near a place called Tasco, which is the oldest silver mine in Mexico. We're the second largest. Tasco produced over 300 million ounces of silver at its time, and you could virtually throw a rock from where we are and hit it.
So there's the potential of that size of a deposit because your land position is so large.
That's right. And unfortunately, it's so far away that it takes us 4 hours to get there each time. So we've had very little exploration out there. And what we've done in our strategy is cash flow from the company has been reinvested into exploration and capital expenditures. And the end result is over 50% of our exploration, and including the acquisition of the company, has been financed through operations.
So that minimizes dilution.
Absolutely. We bootstrapped ourselves up. And we see going forward that being part of what we do going forward, but we certainly want to accelerate what we're doing.
Well, just to summarize, if you're looking for silver to get to $25, $30, of course, it's not even where it was in 2011. You're looking for a way to play that that will multiply in value. A company like Impact Silver is essentially a non-expiring option on silver, and you can hold it, you can benefit from that price gain, and it's the kind of company I think will multiply in value if we get the kind of gain I'm looking for in the silver price. Fred, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate
your time.
Thanks.